Make sure you have your snow shovel in your trunk.
That's right, because it is going to be cold, it sounds like, weather-wise. It's also getting cold on the trade front with Mexico. We saw the Mexican president look to shut down GMO imports, and the national corn growers are keeping an eye on this issue. Mike Adams talked with their president.
We're getting our voice out there, and we're making sure that the administration knows how serious this is for farming practices for the American corn farmer, but also how it could really affect the Mexico people if this was to go through of using non-GMO, how much more it's going to cost them to the families to live and to eat, because there's not a lot of GMO products in the pipeline right now.
So I think that's key. Ramifications to be felt on both sides of the border if this goes through.
Exactly right. So I mean, if say for instance myself, we grow 1,000 acres of corn. If we were to go, say 200 acres or 300 acres of non-GMO, you got to make sure it's separated. You got to make sure that your combine's cleaned out so you don't have any contamination. Then you got to make sure you have a separate bin to put it all in. Then the biggest thing is it going to cost, how much more is it going to cost per acre to use this? Plus, then where do we get rid of it at? Is it going to be a close elevator, a fire elevator to get rid of it? Then also, what's the cost going to be? How much more are they going to pay us for using non-GMO? So there's a lot of issues there, and we all know in the fall is when farmers get the best deal of buying seed corn for next year, and I would say most of the farmers right now are buying their same practices they used before, if it's non-GMO or if it's GMO, but that's going to be in the pipeline in the year 2024.
What are you hearing from Washington as far as prospects of getting this taken care of?
Well, we hear they're looking at it, but we know that we're putting an awful lot of pressure on Ambassador Tai to make sure that she tells her counterparts, the president and all that, how this would affect the American farmer. So, and she also needs to reply that same information to Mexico. And the other thing is what we're making sure they do is they're reading the rules of that trade pact that we have between Mexico and Canada and us. Are they following the rules that are in there, or are they going to be, oh no, we're not doing it just because we don't want to do it? So that is what we've got to make our administration, and it's going to be a serious thing coming down the road if they decide to go, because I don't know if there's enough corn from Brazil or Argentina to fulfill their needs of non-GMO. So it's an issue, and corn growers are going to stay right up on top of this. We're not going to let this one slide through the cracks and forget about.
Well, thank you, Mike, and thanks to Tom Haag, new president of the National Corn Growers Association. This discussion with Mexico will be ongoing all year as their ban is set to take place January 1st of 2024.